What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. In this video, we are going to compare and contrast the Galaxy Z Fold 3 versus the Galaxy Z Fold 4. And I'm going to tell you at the end of this video which one you should get, which one's better. We're going to go through a ton of different categories, from the speakers to the cameras to the overall usage, the software, everything. Without further ado, let's jump into this video. So for me, both of these feel really, really close in design in your hand. It's really difficult to hold them and tell them apart. If I just handed you these, you probably really wouldn't notice much of a difference. Now, this phone is different though. When you look at these phones, the Galaxy Z Fold 4, which is on the bottom here, is a little bit wider, but also a little bit shorter at the same time. Now, it's almost impossible to tell. I have those at the top, and you can see just a little bit of the screen holding up down below. It's very difficult to tell the difference, but ultimately, just in hand, designs are identical almost. Z Fold 4 right here, Z Fold 3 on the right side. You can see the camera designs look very similar. This almost has a more uniform look. Everything's a little bit more uniform, where this, I don't know, this gives me like a little bit of a leaf look. I don't know if that makes sense, but a little bit of a leaf look to that. Also, when you look at these, you can tell that the hinge on the Z Fold 4 is less than on the Z Fold 4. You can see the Z Fold 3, I should say, stands out a little bit more than the Z Fold 3. Now, when I played with the Z Fold 4 in the store at Best Buy, I said that the buttons did feel a little bit more prominent on the Z Fold 4, but it's weird. Now that I have these side to side, I actually feel like the Z Fold 3, especially on the volume side, those seem more prominent to me. Fingerprints seem very, very, very close in terms of how they feel on your finger there. Here's the bottom of the phone. They're really hard to tell apart. Really, really hard to tell apart without me probably telling you, or maybe there's a few key differences like I mentioned already, but it's very hard to tell. Holding these in your hand and the weight, again, very similar. For me, this does have the smaller, skinnier, taller display, which I don't like. It's too small for me, but at the same time, this Z Fold 4 display, it is wider and, kind of a little bit more comfortable in terms of viewing things. You can see things are a little bit fatter and spread out on here, which I do like. And then the keyboard, again, a little bit fatter, you can tell, a little bit bigger on there, which I do, again, enjoy on there. So if I had to choose a design on the outside, I would definitely choose the Z Fold 4. I like the fatter, shorter display overall. The quality of the displays are very, very close, but just in quality, looking at these, the Z Fold 4 does seem a little bit sharper. I don't know what it is. Like when I look at these, it does seem, like, especially on these photos of these icons and stuff, the Z Fold 4 does just look a tiny bit sharper, maybe 10 or 20% more sharper. And then on these displays, for me, it's a little bit harder to tell much of any difference on here if I see anything looking better or anything like that. The Z Fold 4 does get brighter for sure than the Z Fold 3, but in order to really see that, you have to go into settings and you have to go into display. You have to turn off auto brightness, and then you have to turn on extra brightness in order to really see that. And you can really see it when you go outdoors. When you're on there, that's where it will kind of shine and be its best version of itself. But otherwise, like I said, it's pretty difficult to tell. Both of these displays look great. Watching videos on them, they still are both really nice. Let me open up YouTube. Here's the Z Fold 3 on the left, Z Fold 4 on the right. You probably can't even tell a difference really. I'll push it back to the beginning so you can see my face in full view. They're both very difficult to tell apart. Videos, you get the same aspect when you pinch in. You get a lot of the same viewing angle, stuff that's cut off as well. They both look fantastic. So in terms of design, I do like the Z Fold 4 better than the Z Fold 3 ever so slightly, and then you're gonna hear that a lot because it's seemingly percentage points better than the Z Fold 3 in a lot of ways. And then the displays, like the ratios, the way they look and all that, I would give, again, the Z Fold 4 the win for that as well. I like the wider displays on both of these, and the brightness on the, especially on the inside display of the Z Fold 4 to get that win is definitely a big selling point for me over the Z Fold 3, especially when I'm outdoors. It does help, not a tremendous amount. It's not like the best, brightest display I've ever seen. The S22 Ultra definitely is brighter than it, and you can see a lot more with that, but ultimately it does help with it. So for design, looks, buttons, all that stuff, even though some of that stuff is seemingly the same, or I'd give the Z Fold 4 the win for that. Features and software, this is basically identical again on here. The big change, and this will get it, is the Z Fold 4 has a little taskbar that when you open something, it shoots up from the bottom here, and you can quickly jump between apps. I can jump into, you can see my browser, or back to that, or I can open up my camera, and I can also drag something up. So I have my Google Play Store open. If I drag up this, I can open up a multi-window very simply and very easily for myself, so I can view 2 windows at once without having to really figure out how to do it. It's very simple, and you can do that with another window as well. Maybe I want the camera up open here. I can have 3 windows open and then drag another one for a 4th that's floating around. Currently, you don't have that feature on the Z Fold 3. It is coming. It is just an update away, so we'll get it. But right now, it doesn't have it. But other than that, the features are going to be basically the same on both of these of what you're going to get. So if you're used to the Z Fold 3, I wouldn't say jump to the Z Fold 4 based off features that you don't have, because the Z Fold 3 basically has all the same ones. Has S Pen support for both, and the S Pen is basically the same for these. So, again, don't get lost in that. So who wins the feature war? Right now, the Z Fold 4, but the Z Fold 3 will catch up without a doubt. Performance, I kind of don't really notice any difference at all from opening just apps and using this a little bit. Maybe the Z Fold 4 feels a little bit smoother, but not really. They feel very similar to me. They both have 120 hertz displays. Now the Z Fold 4 does have better performance with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor over the Snapdragon 888 on the Z Fold 3, but on day-to-day basis of what you're using these for, it's very minimal. And in a lot of ways, the Z Fold 3 still will open up apps faster. I was going through some of these. Let me close all my apps real quick just to show you this. They 1, 2, 3. Look at that. It's like, I think the Z Fold 3 won on that one. We'll open up Twitter. Z Fold 3 pretty much opened it up quicker. So it's day-to-day stuff. You're probably not going to notice a difference. Even in gaming, you'll probably pick up a few frames per second more, but it's definitely not worth spending all that much more money in order to get something like that. So for performance, they're both very close. As for battery life, Z Fold 4 definitely takes the cake. I would be begging to charge at this point almost with the Z Fold 3. I know it says 54%, but I had just charged it up. It was basically dead because I hadn't been using it. And this phone, I'd have to definitely be charging by about noon, or it'd be like, you know what, if I don't charge it now, I'm going to be dead the phone's going to be dead within an hour or so if I keep using it. Z Fold 3, still learning my usage patterns. I've had this phone on since 5:30 in the morning. I still have 51% left, and I've currently, you can see 1 hour, 13 minutes screen on time, 1 hour 15, so that's 2 hours and 30 minutes, and then another 17 minutes. So basically almost 3 hours of screen on time. I'm on pace to get 5.5 to 6 hours of screen on time with the Z Fold 4. Z Fold 3, I would be lucky probably getting about 4 hours, 4.5 screen hours of screen on time with it. Maybe closer to 5, but definitely you can get better battery life with the Z Fold 4. Now, personally, I don't think you're going to get 10 hours of screen on time or anything like that. Don't be crazy, but you should definitely get better battery life with the Z Fold 4, and a lot of that has to do with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 processor to really take the cake for you. Fingerprint sensor on both of these, I don't notice a difference in terms of one being more accurate or faster. I don't even know if this one's updated at all on the Z Fold 4. They feel the same to me. I'd have to give them a tie score. They both are great. I love them on both. So Don't leave the Z Fold 3 for the Z Fold 4 for the fingerprint sensor because it feels the same. Next would be the cameras. The cameras on here have been updated on the Z Fold 4. So the Z Fold 4, you get up to 30x telephoto, you get up to a 50 megapixel main camera. So I want to show you some videos and photos that I captured with both of these, and I will discuss after that. We got it on the ultra wide for both of these. The Z Fold 4 is a 0.6x and 0.5x for ultra wide on the Z Fold 3. I'm going to turn these around. Hopefully it will equal out and let you know which one looks and sounds better. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. My son's little play area is super messy, right? Gotta clean that up. Here we go with the main cameras of the Galaxy Z Fold 4 video, obviously, and then the main camera of the Z Fold 3. Now, both of these are 4K, 30 frames per second, currently set to that. So hopefully we can tell which one looks better or not. But let me know which one you guys think looks better and sounds better as well on here, the microphones and cameras. All right, here we go. Z Fold 3, Z Fold 4 cameras. This is the front on the little, outside display. This is at 4K. Ooh, I should do more of the circling. This is pretty cool. Curious to see which one, if one has better stabilization, sounds better, and looks better. Hopefully we'll be able to tell. Interesting. Both look good to me, actually. What about the crease on these? Well, I'm going to make these screens black because I think it helps with seeing the crease just a little bit more indented. And I don't know if you can tell, but the Z Fold 4, which is right here, you can see the crease more for sure. It sticks out, it sticks in more. It doesn't bother me at all. Don't let it bother you, but you can definitely see it more and feel it just a little bit more, seemingly anyway, than the Z Fold 4, which is right here. So for the crease win, I gave it to the Z Fold 4. Welcome to Greggles TV Daily, your source for daily tech news. Make sure you're subscribed so you know what's going on in the world of tech. How's everyone doing? What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV Daily, your source for daily tech news. Make sure you're subscribed so you know what's going on in the world of tech. How's everyone doing? All right, so for the sound on these, it's a tough one, but ultimately I have to give it to the Z Fold 4. It sounds more full. The Z Fold 3 does not sound awful. It sounds more trebly, less full, less bass. I prefer a more full, more bassy sound. So I'd give it to the Z Fold 4 for the win. In terms of volume though, I don't know. I almost want to say the Z Fold 3 maybe sounded a little bit louder, but it might have been because of it was more high-pitched sound. You know, more trebly. So for sound overall, I would give it to the Z Fold 4. So if you're looking to upgrade from the Z Fold 3 to the Z Fold 4, I have to admit, after going through this test side by side, it's a lot closer than I actually thought it would be. From all the marketing I had been seeing from Samsung and other things other people were saying, these phones are a lot closer than I thought. The big differences with these are obviously the Z Fold 4 has a little bit newer software. We have that taskbar at the bottom, which I can live without it. If I didn't have it, I didn't have it before, I was absolutely fine. And I'll be honest with you, a few days into this, I barely use it now. It's cool though. It works great with multitasking and stuff like that. But overall, the softwares are very similar, and the Z Fold 3 will get that eventually. Cameras, I don't know, of the samples that I took, and I know I didn't take the most amazing, beautiful photos ever, but from the photos and videos that I took, I do think the Z Fold 4 looked better, but I wouldn't say that the Z Fold 4 looked, 10 times better or anything like that. I don't think it did. I think within the last few updates that the Z Fold 3 has received, the Z Fold 3 has improved a lot as a phone that takes photos and videos, and I'm actually a lot happier with it than I have been in the past. So I would definitely give the cameras on here a bigger plus than I maybe had thought I would have. But overall, I do think, like I said, that the Z Fold 4 did take better photos and videos more often. By how much? Maybe by about, I don't know, 25% better, which is it worth it to spend hundreds of dollars to get that, to trade in the Z Fold 3 and get the Z Fold 4? Maybe not. A lot of the other features are the same. You're getting the same charging speeds from wired and wireless. You're getting a very similar design with these phones. You're getting still that great fingerprint sensor on the side here that works wonderfully. The speakers on the Z Fold 3 and Z Fold 4, the Z Fold 3 actually sounds a little bit louder. It doesn't sound as bassy, but it still sounds kind of bassy. I don't know. At that point, it's real preference of what you would want, what you'd expect in speakers. The displays are very similar. Z Fold 4 does look a little bit brighter and a little bit better overall, especially on the outside display. But at the end of the day, I have a really, really tough time of saying you should definitely upgrade to the Z Fold 3 to the Z Fold 4. It just seems very tough to do that. Doesn't mean the Z Fold 4 is a bad phone or a bad upgrade in general. It just doesn't, it means that maybe there's just not enough meat on the bone to actually do that. I love this phone. I love this phone too. I was unhappy with the camera at times, and I assume I'll probably be happy with the camera at this time. I don't think it's going to be an absolute perfect camera. But generally, I just don't feel like it might be worth the upgrade unless you really need to upgrade because you broke the Z Fold 3, or you just love to upgrade and want the newest device. But if you're just looking for a reason to upgrade, I don't know if there is one. But let me know in the comments down below if you think it's worth the upgrade. Doesn't mean the Z Fold 4 is a bad phone. It just means, is it worth the upgrade from the Fold 3 to the Fold 4? Let us know in the comments down below. Have a great day. We'll see you down the road.